days are passing away. Will you promise your heart remains the same? Never can we suspend the time, having to leave the tracks behind. There is a longer way ahead. After all, there used to be a storyteller who always painted the sunshine and the rain. One has to eventually grow up, spending a lifetime to taste the love and pain. Never can we suspend the time, having to leave the tracks behind. There is a longer way ahead. After all, if it's too hard to say goodbye, give us a try to sing alright. May the beauty of this world always shine.
Hi. Hi. Hi, Nessie. Hi, Nessie. How you been? My god, it feels like it's been forever. Hope you're well. I'm not molding too hard over those Air Jordans. Air Jordan model. I miss you IRL too, bro. It's only been a month. No, it's been more. It's been almost 2 months now. And I heard from she that she had fun. Oh man, I miss you too. I wish I'd gone to YetiCon, or at least I could have afforded to go to YetiCon, because then I could have spent more time with you. I only had an afternoon with you. Wink. I heard from she that she had fun, so that's good. Also, they say I fixed the overlay, kind of. Somebody on GitHub made a OBS overlay just for YouTube chat. So, yeah. You spent time with, I gave you a tour. I gave you a tour of one of the most historic areas of my city. Do I wish I was a little more prepared still? Absolutely, but hey, I did my best. I had fun. I'm glad you got to see the theater at least, because I think that's maybe the most iconic part of that area. So, yeah, that worked out, yeah. And we did end up going along the waterfront too, so that ended up working out. And then there were all the ducks. The ducks loved you. Animals. Oh my god, Nessie was like Snow White. Is the best way I can describe. Nessie was like Snow White. Like all the animals are just like gathering around him. The blue water. Oh, the blue. No, I was blind. I'm sorry. So I mistook like the blue covering of a construction site as the waterfront because I'm blind. And Nessie has not been letting me live that down since. But yeah, anyway, yes, that was fun. We did see the actual waterfront minutes later, after all the condos. Yeah, so technically, we got there. But yeah, I miss you too, man. Next time I'm gonna be ready. Just you wait. I'm gonna work my ass off for the remainder of 2025. Finally get myself back on my feet. Which I guess is kind of what I'm talking about today too, so... Because that is part of the reason why I needed to take a break. Yeah, I guess I'll get started with that. I had to make notes. Also, sorry, my AC is going to be, like, periodically going on and off. Because it's the summer, and also there's construction happening outside, and my window... The air outside is not clean, let's just say, so, like, I need to circulate in other ways. A lot of stuff happening. both IRL and also just like behind the scenes regarding my projects too. I'll start with the tougher stuff. Basically, something that I had not been open about during Don't Look Back's production period, which is when everybody was like working on Multiverse Vistas, was that because I had not realized this either until much later. I had been going through the early stages of my eating disorder relapse again. So it kind of hit a breaking point last week or 2 weeks ago now, I think. Yeah, it's been about 2 weeks now. That's when I realized, oh shoot, okay, if I don't bring my pride down, I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble. Like, a lot of trouble. So I plucked the courage, and believe me when I say this, it was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. But I am so glad that I did it. For context, when I broke things off, I had also broken things off with the mutual friend group that I had been with, which a lot of, not a lot, but like a handful of friends that I regularly speak with now either had been part of that group or are still kind of part of that group. But I had no way of like accessing that help anymore. And also I realized near the end, like, they didn't really care about me enough to help anyway. So like, it was a learning experience for me. Like, they were now as friends, first and foremost. So I was very hesitant to reach out to the handful of folks that I did end up reaching out to. And I'm still so glad that I did. I think otherwise I probably would have been rushed to ER had it not been for their help. So whenever you guys see Spider She, Pie-Monster, Itsuki or Mercenary, and Trains as well, our boy Trains, yeah, just give him lots of love. They saved my ass so that I can talk in front of a microphone awkwardly again to all of you. Hi, I missed you guys. But yeah, that has been my biggest hurdle, I think. Trying to some insight, because I feel like people don't talk about this enough, and I feel like it's important to talk about this, because there's a lot of I get it. Like, I was in the position, so I understand how guilty and shameful we as the patients or survivors, I prefer the word survivors feel, but it's so important to share this information just so we don't feel isolated. So I'm gonna talk about it a little bit in a way that I hope is lighthearted and easy to listen to. There is a process called refeeding when you're recovering from the anorexic side of eating disorders, which is where I'm coming in from. I found out is because when I tried to pop a wheelie on my wheelchair, I didn't have enough strength. And then I fell over. I fell out of my chair. It was terrible. But I survived. It's okay. It's all good. It's working out. But when I told Spider She about this, she was like, "Baby, no! What do you mean? What happened? Oh no!" But yeah, in hindsight, I'm just like, "Oh yeah, that was stupid of me." But anyway, like, that was kind of like the big wake up call. I was like, oh, I don't even have the strength to like push myself in my chair. This is not a good sign. Refeeding is the process of reintroducing regular meals and filling up your calorie deficiency. Because just like sleep debt, there is such a thing as caloric debt. So if you have not been eating for a long time, guess what? You have to double your intake, maybe triple your intake of calories, when your stomach is the least likely to take it. So like, the reason why I'm so exhausted the last week and a half, 2 weeks, is because my body is just recovering. It's just rebuilding muscle, it's rebuilding energy, it's rebuilding its fat stores, it's rebuilding everything. And it's a tiring process, it's a painful process. You're taking naps every 2 hours. Food makes you sleepy. it's like Thanksgiving dinner, but on a daily basis, and there's no celebrations happening, and you're the only one. um, if that gives any context, although like I kind of wish it was a turkey at least, because actually no, I don't wish it was a turkey. I don't really enjoy eating turkey at Thanksgiving. But yeah, like at some point, I had to realize like, okay, I need to approach this in a way that is a little more realistic for myself. So I have like the biggest snack stash, big snack stash, in the corner, and because that core group of friends and I ended up creating another server to support each other, not just me, but like also let me support them in return. Um, because two of us have complicated relationships with food, let's just say, not exactly eating disorders. The other one is just like, oh, I'd like to eat more, but my appetite has a different idea, kind of a thing. For the two of us, we have to be poked at, or we have to report in that we ate. So and also because like it's kind of like a little cubby or a cupboard. Itsuki decided to call the group Snack Cupboard, so that's what we are now. And the images of Kanade from Nijigoji, or Night Court at 2500. So and she's just eating the ramen. I was like, that's a mood. I love that. So yeah, that's what we doing now. And so far, I'm very glad it's not just me that it's helping. It's helping everyone, because I have come to understand, by reaching out for help to people that I trust deeply, that I'm not the only one that's struggling in isolation, right? Like, it's one thing to be like, oh, my DMs are open, da da da. But the genius behind the way that Itsuki set up the server is that like we each have our own individual channels, or they're like, they call them lockers. Yumemi, Yomo-chan! Hi, hello! Did you sleep well? Also, hi. Are you taking care of yourself? Very short shout out. Yumemi is organizing the V-Singer stage for Otakuthon this month. Please go support. And yeah, you'll see her perform. I'm seeing like very familiar faces in that, from like my generation of Yutaite as well. So I'm very proud. I'm very proud. I'm a very hi. Please go support if you're going to a talkathon. Yes, hi. Okay, good. You slept well. That's good. That's good. What do you mean? Hello? Are you girl? Girl. Please take care of yourself. I'm feeding you snacks at JFC when we meet up. Yeah. Okay. But in the meantime, take time to relax. Thank you. No worries. Of course. Of course. I'm very proud of you. I feel awkward saying that, but I genuinely do. Yeah. Me too. Thank you. Oh. 頑張ります. Anyway, but yes, thanks for support. Where was I? Right, I realized, the I'm so happy I could make you proud. I'm happy that you took me being proud of you as a compliment. Thank you. But yes, it's true, 100%. Yes, you deserve it, 100%. Gosh, yeah, speak of the devil actually, because Yuna-ten, you're actually kind of part of this too. I realized I'm not the only one kind of struggling in isolation and needing somebody to just like reach out every once in a while, just to be like, hey, what's up? What's going on? Like, did you eat? What did you eat? Was it easy to eat? Because I mentioned earlier, my biggest challenge the past 2 months, month and a half, 2 months has been another anorexic relapse. So something I'm been helping to work on is checking in with my friend group to just say like, yes, I've eaten maybe more than I'd like to. I've maybe eaten a little more than I'd like to, but I have to because the refeeding process is like a 3,000 to 5,000 calorie intake daily until the weight is regained. And I'm not allowed to exercise during that time either, so I'm just going like, oh, I don't like this. This is awkward. This is not comfortable, but I will do it anyway because I have to. Because JFCA is coming up, and then I have people counting on me. And if I f this up, then I'm not gonna be happy with myself just because I couldn't get food in. So like I'm just like working really hard to just like eat everything. So I've had to resort to snacking, which is not too bad. There's like a giant bag of dollar store snacks on my bed right now that I have to organize after the stream. And I had some rice cakes earlier too, so. It's all good. Things are good. Things are good now because I had a lot of help in the last 2 weeks, specifically. But yeah, I hadn't realized the relapse had happened until it was really bad. So yeah, I'm okay now. 大丈夫. But yeah, reaching out for help made me realize my friends were also needing some kind of passive support as well, not just me. So yeah, you looked on you too. You're in the there goes my AC. Thank you for continuing to believe in me and showing me the same compassion and grace that I try and show to you as well. Yeah, Nessie, you too. If you're still around. I miss you guys. I'll be seeing Yuna-chan soon though. Very soon. I can't wait. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, also I got permission from the showrunner to talk about it. So he was like, please, by all means, talk about it. Official announcement will be going up on Monday when I finish the graphic for it. I will be performing alongside Anime North Live, representing the dance cover show, as well as just like my own Utaita stuff on August 16th at, I believe, between 6:30 and 7 p.m. I will have 2 songs, one near the beginning of the show and one at the finale. The first one will be performed with a dance duo called Reset. It'll be a Giga P song. It'll be very interesting. I'm practicing my arse off for it. The last song is gonna be a very special version of Flyer, which Yumemi is gonna be singing with me, and we're gonna have 4 dancers from the Project Sekai community dancing that with us. Their stage name for this particular performance is Wonder Street because 2 of the members are known for cosplaying Emu and Rui, and the other 2 are cosplaying as Kohane and Toya. So yeah, it's half VBS, half Wonderland Showtime. So excited! I'm so excited too! I can't wait to hear you sing this song. Oh my gosh! It's also gonna be the first time that like I am singing my own English lyrics for a stage this big. I'm just like, what the? Oh, that you're letting me do this? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Thank you, senpai. Ganbarimasu. So yeah, the dancers are also very excited. I am very excited to finally share how like intense the dance community has gotten since dancers are starting to move more towards J-Idol and Project Sekai and Ensemble Star stuff again more. So yeah, I get to record the parts. Oh my god, that would be great. Thank you. It's not necessary though. Don't worry. We can figure things out when we get there. It's okay. I trust you. You're a pro. You got this. Focus on what you need to do first. But of course, obviously, if you send me your parts, that would be great. Because then my ears will be blessed and practicing will be very fun for me too. But yeah, please look forward to it. I'm very excited. that's gonna be on the Saturday of Japan Festival Canada and Mississauga Celebration Square. Very excited. Yeah. Anyway, また飲みます。お楽しみ! Yeah, I guess that's a good segue, huh? To talk the imposter syndrome. Oh my goodness, the imposter syndrome. Yeah, trying to tell myself that I am worthy of this stage, to stand with my contemporaries, has been hard. Has been very hard. It's also been especially hard seeing like with the agency dramas and whatnot happening as well, and I'm just like, oh, nothing is sacred in this industry anymore. Nothing is sacred. It's no different than like the big three. Like, okay, maybe it might be better to do the big three at this point, but like I had to really redefine why I'm performing. Oh no, for baby. Oh no. I listen to what I have to say next about this, because I think this is something that I would like to say to all of my contemporaries who are doing way more activities than I am. Like the level of activities that I wish I was doing. An agency cannot increase your value. Right? And I know with Yuma-chan it's more like, oh, she wants to help. I know for her she wants to help. But I know others who I've spoken to in private where for them they feel like without the agency they're not going to be as well known, or they're not going to grow as big, or they think that getting rejected from agencies or having bad luck with agencies is somehow reflective of their self-worth. It's not. It's just really bad luck. That's really all it is. The last agency I had a contract signed with, this is back when I was semi-pro, was with a record label that got into a lot of legal trouble and security trouble. Like, people's bank accounts were exposed because their support staff, so like their mixers and their producers, were not well taken care of. So somebody in the staff decided to basically sabotage the company by making a mess out of all of the talent's private information. I was very lucky. I was in the process of closing my account anyway, because I was switching banks, but I know some people who were not as lucky. So from the perspective that I'm coming, and this was like, for a while, like at the time, a pretty significant label. I'm not gonna name them because I think they are still kind of active, but you realize when you're behind the scenes that running a company is hard. It's really hard. Even harder when it's something like an agency, in entertainment specifically. What I like about per rate commission management services is that the artist knows exactly what they're signing on for, right? They know exactly what they're signing on for, they know what to expect, and the artist has the power to step away. When you're in an agency, you don't have that power. You're in it for as long as the contract will let you, and you have to wait until an NDA is lifted before you can even start talking about all the shit that you went through. So yes, it seems like a holy grail is like the best way I can describe it. It is, I think, agencies are kind of like propped up as this holy grail, and there are some that do it really, really well. And these are usually folks that have been in the industry for like years. They've been doing this for years. They know what the risks are. They know how to project manage. They know what it's like to be a talent themselves. They have had experience with smaller projects before committing to something bigger. They have, like, if you see them able to bring on large name investors, that's usually a good sign, because that means their sponsorship deck was strong. For context, like, I went to school to study this because my dream back in the day was to run my own agency. And I don't know, I think I still kind of want to, but I understand how hard it is. Because I understand how hard it is, I'm A, very hesitant to do it now, and B, I feel like this would be something that I would do like in my retirement years. Like when I'm maybe like in my 60s or my 50s, which isn't that far away. It's only like 20 years away. Um but yeah, it's something that I need a lot more experience in firsthand rather than secondhand accounts. And also I have my own personal dreams that I want to achieve first that I know will help my future kohais do their jobs better as well. I was watching a video by Yumu-chan, I'll send you this video. I think you'll find it interesting. Oh, also hi Nacho. Hi, thank you for bucks. Hope you're well. Hope you rested well. I was watching. It has English subtitles, so you can watch it. Nayongsuk PD are on Channel Full Moon. So like Nayongsuk PD is like a really well-known producer within the Korean variety sphere, because he and his production team are really well known for telling very heartfelt stories with their casts. And like these are like comedians, these are idols, these are singers, these are like MCs back when MCing was a thing. Oh my gosh. And on one episode they had Psy on, like Gangnam Style Psy. And he talks about what it's like to be an artist from like a project management perspective. And so many things that he said in that interview, like I resonated with personally, because I'm just like, yeah, I much prefer I much prefer the planning stages of my shows and projects than the actual than the what's it called, than the promotion of it. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'd rather trust that. I'd rather leave that with someone else, or like the execution part, I need like people to help me through it, kind of a thing. So yeah, Yuma-chan, I think you're gonna really enjoy that episode, and also it's hilarious, especially if you understand the Korean references. It's really funny. They get drunk while watching it. While they're talking about this stuff. But yeah, because it's a variety show concept, it's A, on YouTube, and B, has English subtitles. C, it's really funny and really insightful. Highly recommended. But I remember I watched that episode and I'm just like, okay, so this is normal, or like this can be normal. Like it's possible to do great things with this kind of mindset. Is it harder? Cause now you're doing everything yourself? Yes, of course. But it also tells me when I can tell someone's not doing the job right. So it's kind of, it's a double-edged sword, right? It's like on the one hand, like it lets me do my job really well and it's hard, but on the other side, I'm so much pickier, especially after the what triggered my eating disorder relapse in the first place 2 months ago. I'm so much pickier now about who I decide to work with. And the shocking part is like it's maybe reduced the number of people, like my original like list, by half. People that I thought I could trust wholeheartedly with the process, turns out I couldn't. And those that I was still learning how they worked, etc., etc., I was actually really impressed by them. I was really surprised by them. And so I'd gladly work with them again. Right? So I realized this was also a reflection of my self-worth as both a creative individual, but also as somebody who puts a lot of his heart and soul into his projects. Spiritually, I guess I should kind of discuss this too. K-pop Demon Hunters made me think about this, because this was something that was percolating in my head before the movie came out. Um, one of the routes that I went down on in my spiritual journey, I guess, since chapter 1 ended, was shamanic bug. Yes, Katie. Yo, I've given myself a synopsis by watching all the spoilers and whatnot. But I'm finally watching it tomorrow with friends. I'm going over, like a bunch of us are going over to Spider Shoe's place, and we're just gonna like watch the movie together. Because she's like, you need to watch it. You have to watch it. Yeah. But like, I really want to do a cover of Golden. Like, I really want to Golden, and this is what it sounds like. I really want to have. I want to cover those two songs especially. But if I'm gonna do This Is What It Sounds Like, I want to have the astronauts do the screaming part, the audience part, like whoa, oh yeah. So yeah, but like anyway, sorry, I got distracted a little bit. You gotta still watch that. Yes, Nacho, we gotta promise we gotta watch this. Yeah, it's good shit. It's good stuff. Yeah. But in that movie, you see that they are shamans or mudang, because the specific folk shamanism in Korea is called musok. That's something that I was trying to self-study on my own before that movie came out for my own personal reasons. Unfortunately, and I believe Maggie Kung has also mentioned this in her behind-the-scenes tweets as well, a lot of historical texts got destroyed by imperialism, which is basically Asia's version of colonialism. Just saying. A lot of that history got lost. But the reason why I was attracted to it in the first place is because a lot of the core elements were stuff that my mom had raised me on as a Catholic, which is funny. But hey, that's how Korean religions work. Every non-shamanic religion in Korea has some layers of of musok still surviving in their practices, including Catholicism. So that's why Korean Catholicism is very unique. That's the version that my mom taught, because that reflected her own experiences spiritually as well. For me, the parts that resonated the most that KDH seems, based on the spoilers I've seen, reflect my beliefs on are with music, dance, and performance being, including acting, being part of the spiritual practice. This is how we heal people, this is how we help people, this is how we connect with our ancestors, this is how we pass on our legacies to the next generations. So while, I don't know, randomly listening to the songs out of pure curiosity and also seeing all my friends do covers of it, I realized, oh yeah, this is minus the fancy weapons and all that stuff. Which, by the way, I have a story about the knives, but give me a second. Let me just finish this thought first. What they like show in a more like fantasy perspective in KDH is what I would like to do moving forward with Astral Mile and Lost and Found and like solo stuff, whatever. And that changed my perspective on everything, because now like that honed in on like what kind of creatives do I want to keep working with, and by default it aligns with those that have the same mission of resonating with people, of touching people's spirits or hearts or emotions, however they word it. Like, you could be agnostic for all I care, you could be atheist for all I care, but if you still have that same mindset of I want to help people with my work, or I want my work to resonate with people on an emotional level, we're gonna work great together. The people that I've learned I don't work well with are those that care too much about the technique, that care too much about the technical aspects, that care too much about like, oh, it needs to follow music theory, it needs to do this, or it needs to do that. And to an extent, I agree that it is useful. I do agree that it is useful to an extent. But when that becomes the only thing that you do, that's not gonna mesh, I've realized. And so I can respect how they do it, I can respect what they do, but we're not gonna work well together. Respectfully, we're not gonna work well together, and that's okay. When music doesn't have heart, exactly. And the biggest thing I had to wrestle, in more like recent collaborations, some of which might never see the light of day, if I'm being really honest with you. Some of these are never gonna see the light of day because that level of heart and thoughtfulness was not put into the work on their side. And the demo at this point, I'm just like, well, I don't know if this is the message I want to convey anymore anyway. So then, like, it's probably better to just fold it or rewrite it and start over. And let's see where it goes from there. But yeah, that's the conclusion I came to. So even if it's not a perfect representation of it, I think ultimately returning to my more indigenous roots, my version of indigenous roots, which is folk shamanism in Korea, I think this is where I feel the most at home. And it also gives me the freedom to be understanding and respectful of everyone else's religions as well, because to me it's just like, oh, we just call these beings by different names or we have like slightly different systems, but like ultimately it's love and compassion and understanding. And I was having a discussion with a friend about like how do you define good and evil, and the definition I gave was like, well, for me personally, if you can make the difficult choices from a place of love, specifically loving yourself first, so that you can then spread that love more abundantly to the people around you, that is good. But if you choose to be self-centered out of fear, or even worse, self-hatred, then I think that can lead you down a path of evil, personally. Because you forget to be grateful for the things that you are graced with. And it almost kind of leads you down this path where it's so woe is me that you lose sight of why you were doing this in the first place. Or maybe you should be facing the reason why you started doing this in the first place, but you're too scared to, and so you don't do it, and that leads you into more trouble. But yeah, at least from what I've observed over the years. So that was just my definition. I think my friend had a slightly different one. They said like, well, I think they can be I think they can foil each other still, I think is what they said. But that's their opinion. They probably can flesh it out better than I can. But for my standing, that's what I had said. And I still believe it, especially with music. So yeah, that made me overcome the imposter syndrome better. Still not perfect. I still have to fight myself a little bit. But there's a lot more compassion for myself there. I'm a little more forgiving of myself, which is a good place to start, I guess. Yeah. Hurt to you too. Yeah, the knives. Oh my god, yeah. So the knives. People are confused about I think it was Zoe's knives in KDH. So I learned this through, again, intergenerational teaching. There is no paperwork about this. There is no historical record about this. There is only word of mouth. Back in, I think, high school or middle school, my mom signed me up for traditional Korean folk dancing. And I remember what I said. A lot of Korea's artistic culture and performance culture is rooted in shamanism. And so, the dances I was learning, they were meant to be performed during certain rituals. So there were certain drum dances, there was a rain dance, there was a flower dance, and then there was the knife dance. And people were wondering, it's like, oh, why is this so floppy? I got it for you, because this is what my dance teacher told me. Who's also Mudang by extent. Long ago, they used to use real knives. They used to use like rigid real knives while they were dancing. And you flourish with these knives, okay? Like you're scratching the knives against each other. You're doing these, like, I wish I could show you with my arms the movements you would do, but like your wingspan is your wingspan and then some. Like that's how far these knives can go. And if you have ever seen a Musok ritual, you'll know that the audience is very, very close. The audience is very close to the ritual. It's very, very intimate settings. The story that's been passed down for generations, is that apparently one time, during one of these rituals, during one of these dances, the knife slipped. And it kind of went flying because again, these movements, you're kind of swinging your arm with. They swung. The knife slipped out of their hands, and it killed an important person. It stabbed someone. And so, since then, when they have to use knives for ritualistic purposes, they have started using those floppy knives, so that nobody gets hurt. The accidental knife throwing contest, for real. But like, yeah, it's just like I had like a core memory unlocked when I was like reading Maggie Kung's notes on like production, and she was like, we couldn't find information about these knives anywhere, and only one other person who I think is actually studying shamanic studies in Korea had to describe like at least in certain rituals it's used as like the same way that an athame is used in Wiccan rituals, which is like a spiritual knife but not a physical knife. But then I remember it's like, oh wait, no, my dance teacher mentioned something about this. I remember now because I think either me or somebody else in the class had asked why do we use these floppy knives, and that was her explanation. They're so floppy, guys. Like there's nowadays, I don't know what they would have made them like back in the day, but like nowadays modern versions of it is a spring. It is this thin piece of really, really light shiny metal that's rounded at the corners, rounded way more than what they gave Zoe. Like Zoe's is a lot pointier than what we use. It's super flat, and it's connected by this tiny, skinny little spring that goes boing, 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 boing. And goes whoa, 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 whoa. And it's attached to like a wooden handle, and the wooden handle is how you hold it and do the dance moves with it. And the thing is, like, the sound of the knife scratching against each other is still important, so that's why they kept it metal. But they dulled out the edge and they made it super floppy so that it doesn't kill anyone. But yeah, now you know why those knives look the way they do. And it's just, yeah, it made me realize, wow, like even in the Korean context, indigenous history is almost all of it is oral history, which is fascinating to me. So yeah, it's something that I look forward to exploring on a much deeper level. But yes, accidental knife throwing contest. That's how it happened. So, Zoe throwing those knives in the movie isn't entirely 100% off. It kind of is accurate, sort of, not really. But yeah, no, it's fun. I look forward to it. They also got this really famous K-drama actor to voice as Quima, the main bad guy, and I'm just like, yo, I forgot this man can speak English. Yeah, I think he usually plays as like the bad boy protagonist or like the heartthrob in those K-dramas or something like that. But yeah, that was really interesting to see, and I heard a little bit of it from the spoilers, and I'm just like, yo, man, still got it. But yeah, where was I? Right, I made notes. I had to make a note of stuff. It's like, oh, what do I need to talk about? What do I need to catch up on? What do I have to keep you guys in the loop about? I think those were the big ones for sure, 100%. But, oh right, this is more IRL stuff now. Good news! I got approved for disability tax credits, so I got retroactively paid for, I think it's like almost 10 years worth. So there was a lot of money that came from it. The downside is I have to use half of that money to prepare to move out. Which is why now I'm a little bit worried about my streaming schedule, because I only found out about this recently. In my head, I have this plan of like, okay, I'm gonna like book out time in, because the public library has space that you can book out with your library card for like 2 hours max. That's equipped with like IMAX and recording equipment and stuff like that. And they do, I think they do allow you to stream in the AV room. I have to double check. It would be with their Wi-Fi. That's the one downside, but it'd be better than nothing. But anyway, the other option is I commit to a proper data plan and stream from my phone for the next little while. Once it comes time to move, like I don't like, that's the other thing too. Like this move's not gonna happen for another 2 to 3 months, maybe. Guesstimated. We're not 100% sure. What basically happened was, there's this concept called renoviction, where the landlord can use massive renovations as a reason to basically I'm not even gonna bother with that. No, it's basically they're house flipping, right? Or they're trying to sell the house, and it is very unlikely that the new tenants or like the new owners will want the tenants to stay. And if they do, they're probably going to charge us a lot more per month because I only got this place because of a lease handover. Um, through someone I knew, which is how lease handovers work. But yeah, we're gonna flip this shit so it's out of your price range, sweetie, for real. Literally for real. And yeah, there are unfortunately many such cases, especially in downtown Toronto. And thing is, I'm living in a tourist trap area as well, so the demand for it is really high. Um, my roommate is a little bit in denial, but you know what? If it helps them, let them think that way. But for me personally, that's not very helpful thinking. So I'm just trying to be as realistic about it as possible. Um, so what I'm focusing on with the remaining money is paying off a big chunk of my consumer debt, which I was hoping to postpone for a little bit longer when I'm a bit more stable. Um, but hey, it is what it is. And um, the other portion was I've already made the purchase. I've finally upgraded my computer setup. Finally! I got a Mac Mini and like 2 portable monitors to go with it, and I still have peripherals from like my current setup that I can just carry over into it. That's way cheaper than a new MacBook Pro, so yeah, and I need to be able to animate on it again. So there's that. That's where I think maybe 45-50% of the money went towards. The other amount is kind of being divvied up between preparing to like paying off the loans to preparing for JFCA next week, and also paying back people I owed money to because they were helping me through some tough spots. That was also going to be helpful with my professional development, so I've paid them back. Thankfully, they are friends, so they're just like, I'm in no hurry. But I was like, okay, but like, can I still pay you back now? And I'm like, okay, whatever works. I'm not an Apple user, but those Mac Minis are a wicked deal. Yes, they are, and thank you. I agree. For an M4 chip to be able to get it way under $1,000, I think I got it for like 750. Really good deal. Really good deal. Would have preferred an M4 Pro chip, to be honest, but it is what it is. That's what was available, and that's what I could afford. Also, it's still gonna be cheaper. I mean, it'll still be better than whatever the heck it is I'm running on right now. What is this? What am I running on? I'm running on like an Intel Evo i7 Iris X graphic or something like that. It ain't good. There's also not enough RAM in this thing. It's only 16 gigs. I need 64. I need 32 at least, but 64 is ideal. I think the Mac Mini, the one that I got, has 32 gigs, so it's gonna be a lot better already. Which means I can finally run models properly. I can't even run a PNG tuber model right now. Like a PNG tuber plus, sorry. Like the like the moving PNG ones, I can't run that. My the fans are gonna go. That's how bad it is. And working on Fight Song, Itsuki's cover of Fight Song, the music video, I had to pre-render so much, so often, and I couldn't spend as much time making brand new scenes as much as I wanted to because my computer was lagging so much. Bruh. I don't know what you're talking about. 16 is most people. 16 is enough. If you're gaming, 16 is enough. If you're streaming only, 16 is enough. When you're running After Effects to make music videos and you like to use particles and textured, like vintage textures and like special light stuff, you need minimum 32. 16 is if you want it to function. Not well, but function. 32 will be like, it's a little slow, but like it'll get the job done. 64 is just like, oh, this is kind of nice. Like, this is it's smooth enough. Like it pre-renders fast enough that I can get a lot of work done quickly, or like it's enough for like the 3D camera function is not going to crash my program and shut it down or give it a blue screen, which is my current situation right now. I can't even puppet. I have to do puppeting in Live 2D Cubism first, which means I have to rig in Live 2D Cubism first, which is an extra step that's really annoying. And then I have to animate a loop in I have to loop in Live 2D Cubism first, render that as an alpha MOV MP or something like that. I have to render that as like a transparent video file and then bring that into After Effects. And then I will still have to pre-render things per composition. Sitting here just watching YouTube at 15.3 gigs. Nacho! What the heck? My guy, what are you doing? Are you watching at 1080p or something? Actually, no, that would only affect your... I feel like that would only really affect your... Are you just running a bunch of things in the background at the same time, too? Wait, you have, like, the little overlays on your desktop kind of a thing, right? Because that's gonna eat up your RAM. 100%. 100% that'll eat up your RAM. What else is there? Yeah, no, it's still not as bad as Twitch. Like, Twitch, I can't run Twitch on my desktop right now, or my laptop right now. It will start losing connection, I think, like 5 minutes into stream, watching at 160p. Which is why multiple times I'm trying to watch Itsuki on Twitch, and I'm just like, or I'm trying to watch Spider She on Twitch, and I'm just like, friend, I can't keep watching. I physically cannot. Oh, it's a memory leak? Bro! It could also be you need to change... I don't know, how old is your RAM? Do RAMs age out? Like, can they, like, get lower quality? What's the word? I don't know. Do you have to change out your RAM every 3 years or something like that? Anyway. But yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to that upgrade. The other thing... Right, I guess I did... I kinda... I mentioned the financial stuff, so anyway, like, that's what it is. Yeah, everything else is, like, things that aren't really tangible, but will help me with the process of, like, finding a new place when the time comes. So that is something that I have to put the money towards, which is, unfortunately, is a really big chunk. I've been procrastinating on it for, like, 2 years, because I've been waiting for other disability stuff to go through. So now that I know that I approved for the tax credit, the process of going through ODSP is probably going to be a lot smoother. And again, I don't... Like, that's not a thing, citation needed, but mine's only like 5 years old, that would be turning okay. Then yeah. Bro, just maybe consider fixing it. Cause that's a lot. That's a lot. But also, like, I feel like a lot of things these days, they just eat up your RAM just by running because there are so many things happening in the background. Um, anyway, um, the one last thing I wanted to mention before I wrap up stream, I don't need to fix that, just need to download more RAM, bro. Story of my life, I guess, until I couldn't. Yeah. What's the saying? Simple is best. Go for the route of least resistance and least expense. Anyway, one thing I did want to talk about and be a bit more open about, because this is going to impact. Who the heck is calling me? I cannot come to the phone right now. Please leave a message after the tone. Be Wait, hold on. I think I recognize that number. Uh-oh. No, they're not gonna call at this hour. They're not gonna call at this hour. Anyway, I'll address that later. I'm worried it's I'm worried it's a medical phone call. Anyway, um, something that came to my gut reaction attention, my instinct attention, was that I only have the ability to create the way that I do now because of all the stuff I had to go through to get here. So like that's all the heartbreak. That's all the financial and physical problems. That's all like the fibro stuff. That's all the PTSD stuff. But it wasn't until Nacho, yeah, I don't know if you were here for the announcement. So for Japan Festival Canada coming up, I'm finally allowed to talk about it. Japan Festival Canada, I'll be performing with Anime North Live, with Yumimi as well as two groups from the dance cover show. I guess like roster this year. Very talented dancers. One of the dances that I'll be singing for them is Flyer. Yes, the Astral Mile version of Flyer. And Yumimi is gonna be helping me singing it live. So because I've been practicing and preparing for that, it's allowed me to reapproach my own lyrics. And I did not expect Chinozo's Flyer to be the song that helps me face the fact, like the fact that I'm able to do what I do now, what I can do now, because of the difficult path I took to get here. The path that I had, like this was something I resented for months. I didn't want to accept it. I wanted to believe that there was more to it than that, but the reality is nothing is ever set in stone. There's no such thing as fate. It just so happens that this is the most fulfilling route that I can take based on the experiences I had so far. And I had to accept that, but it wasn't until I was looping the demo while I was out for a roll earlier today, the line was like, feeling that I would burst, my eyes must have been clouded by a thunder deep inside me. It was so boomy, feeling if I would burst, then it's fine. My soul not honest, have been flowing out so bloomy. Something like that. That line, it hit me like a sack of bricks. I was like, frick. Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's it. And then the song obviously goes on. I was like, this one heart of yours, believe in it. I was like, wow, that wasn't the intention when I wrote those trans lyrics. I was just trying to keep it as accurate to Chinozo's original as possible, but it ended up hitting me a lot harder than I thought it would. Hi, Kess. Good evening. Ooh, I'm about to wrap up. I'm about to wrap up stream, but hi, how are you? But yeah, thank you for the hearts. I knew you'd like that, Nacho. I know you like that song. But yeah, if you can make it out to Mississauga for Japan Festival Canada on the Saturday, August 16th, during the Anime North Live segment, which I believe technically it's an unofficial announcement, but tentatively it's set to be 6:30 to 7. I'll be performing one song with Reset. I'll be performing I. The Giga P song, and the not the Hosho Marin and Kanaira Kobo version. Not that one. I had to rewrite a family friendly English version. But it is more based off of Senna and Justin's version because the dancers requested that. I'll be doing that with Reset. The dancers have given me the thumbs up, so I guess they liked it. So that's gonna be on the set, and then Flyer will be, I believe, the finale song for that set, and it'll be with Wonder Street. Where for what you mean you're not gonna? No, I'm not gonna. It's a Nacho. This is a family show. What ticket? It's a free event. It's a little bit spicy. It's like Yumemi level spicy, which is safe enough. It's like PG-13. It's not gonna go anything beyond PG-13. I'm sorry, not sorry, guys. Like, I've seen a lot of kids at that show. Okay, I'm not taking that risk. Please, no. I still try to preserve as much of the original meaning as possible. I just made it a little more family and queer friendly. That's all. That is all I did. I support your decision. Thank you, Kes. I appreciate it. But yeah, that's gonna be the first song, and then the finale song will be Flyer, which is the Astral Mile version, and Yumemi will be singing with me for that one. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to hearing her sing that song. I feel like it's gonna hit different. My one qualm with the original version that was released a few years back, you know, with like when it was still chapter 1 of Astral Mile, my one qualm with it was that it just did not go hard enough. I wanted us to go a little bit harder, but most people don't sing as intensely as I do because, you know, you need to sound good still. And I don't necessarily sound the best when I'm going all out. Until recently. I've been practicing. Thank you very much. Hair flip. Yeah. This is gonna be my first time in a very long time performing without a wig. So this will be interesting. Yeah, I hope my hair cooperates. Because it's been very humid lately and I have curly hair. Hopefully the coconut oil will do its work. So yeah, that's gonna be the official announcement will come out on Monday, which will also introduce the dancers, and I hope you all support them as well, because I know you guys are gonna support me and Yumemi, but like support our kohais too. They're really good guys. Like guys, they're really good. I was shook while I was emceeing during Anime North and I saw them perform. I'm just like, yo, what? How do we get to this point? Oh my gosh! And they're not doing K-pop. They're doing Project Sekai songs. They're doing Project Sekai and like Utaita songs. I was like, yes. Reset, for context, like their first song was the song that I got introduced them to by, because that was their song selection for DCS this year, was Overdose by Natori, which, you wanna talk spicy. That choreo was spicy. We had to tell them, it's like, okay, so because this is a PG event, you cannot do the choking part, okay? And they're like, oh, okay. But everything else was still hot. It was still a very hot choreo. So that, like, I was like, okay, this is just what you guys do. I want to respect that. So even though I have to really push myself to do it, I will be spicy for you. I will be like acceptable level of spicy for you. Which day I go? Are you on? Yes, only on the Saturday. Excuse me. Friday is market only, so there's no performances. Saturday is when we have like the headliners and the the idol performers and all that. Sunday is when the community performers are there, I believe. So that's like the cultural dances and the kids dance crews and stuff like that. It's like stuff that supports the local community. Saturday is like the big headliner day. Which means I'm gonna be sharing the same stage as Machiko. Oh my gosh! Oh, Machiko and a whole bunch of other names where I'm just like, yo, what? I can't even talk about them yet because NDA. They're gonna be announced. Let's follow their Instagram. Like follow JFC's Instagram for the announcements. I just like some of us already know who some of them are gonna be, but like, just keep an eye on it. Yeah. Looks like more schedule. Sorry, Kess, but also thank you. One of our dancers has had to reschedule their work schedule as well. They're just like, I'm not gonna make it in time for this show or dress rehearsal if I don't switch my shift around. I was like, I believe in you. You got this. And yeah, they figured it out. So it all worked out. But yeah, we were just like a little bit spooky for a second there. We're just like, oh my gosh. Because it was one of the flyer dancers too. We're just like, oh my gosh. So yeah, it worked out. It all worked out. Trust the process. Always trust the process. Something I am learning. This is gonna be my second time performing with the wheelchair. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm also in the process of trying to calibrate my wheelchair in a way that does not require me having to go into a shop to get the fixes done. I think if I add more pillows and make my seat taller, it might help. Maybe. I did have to invest in those Avon seat pillows, like the fancy, the 40, oh no, what was it? How much was it? I think it was like $60. It's a $60 memory foam and gel seat cushion for wheelchair users, and also you can technically use it on your chair as well. But the dimensions are designed for like smaller, like 16-inch-ish wheelchair users, which is what mine is. Mine is about 16 inches, which is still a little too big, to be really honest with you. But yeah, it's helped a little bit. Excuse me. But while I am recording and doing things at home, I still need to add like 2 more seat pillows. And then there's another IKEA seat pillow underneath the Avon pillow as well, because there's like a dip, because the seat is not solid and it's already started sagging. So part of me is wondering, is like, should I just like put a piece of because what fancier wheelchairs will do nowadays is they'll put carbon fiber plates on the seats instead of like a piece of fabric sling, which they traditionally are. But because I still need to kind of fold up my chair once in a while, I'm thinking maybe as like a thing I slide in. You can get these panels of different types of wood originally for painting panels. But they tend to be just the right shape for my chair. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get maybe a couple of those, lay them down under my seat cushion, and then try and see if I need to add more pillows on top of that or not. Because my big issue during Anime North Idol when I was performing for the finals was that my legs were too high up. That caused 2 issues. One, it squished my diaphragm. I didn't have very comfortable control with my breath. Second thing, my kneecaps were so close that it knocked into the receiver end of my microphone and shorted it out. And so like the judges and AV were all just like panicking because like halfway I think is when I was in the chorus. I was like, Akira with this, oh no, and that's just shot out. And I was like belting, I continued singing, belting it, but you see me just like fiddling with the microphone as I am belting. One of the judges had to grab the judge's microphone, run up the steps through on the front of the stage, and then it has quick swap with me, and I just like, okay, thank you, and I just kept singing that way. I know for a fact that's not the reason why I lost points. I lost points for another reason. I lost points because I feel like I was so out of my skin that I kind of held myself back. But what mattered was like like all the judges said like you had fun. It was fun watching you. Like it was enjoyable to watch you. The person who did get runner-up fully deserved runner-up, and the person who won fully deserved to win. Phoebe, who was the winner this year, she will also be performing at JFCA with our segment, so go and support her too. Otako was also going to be there, which I think Otako won 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago, because it was the first year that I made it to finals. Yeah, that's when Otako won. So Otako's going to be there too. And I'm performing right after Otako. I'm just like, what? Why am I going after her? That's too high! That standard's too high! And he's just like, you got this. I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, please come support all of us. Like, the AN, like, the Anime North, performance community the ones that are at least selected for JFCA at least every year, like every few years, there is a certain level of trauma bonding. No, that's being harsh. No, sorry, trauma bonding is being harsh. We are going through the same difficulties together at the same time. Like we are all facing our imposter syndromes together. We are all facing our failures together. We are all facing our disappointments together, and we're also facing all of our successes and triumphs together. And so that's built this camaraderie that kind of just continues into subsequent iterations and generations. That if you say, like, if you're showing up on a similar stage like Anime North Live at JFCA, it's just like your brethren. Like, I know you deserve to be here, kind of a thing. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. JFCA last year, even though I was only going in more as a supporter, the fact that both the showrunner as well as like J Fashion and Yumemi as well, like they vouched for me to have backstage access so that I can help them with their stuff on a much more engaging level. I don't think I would have realized how badly I wanted to return to the stage had it not been for that experience. So like and I remember I was telling Kaidash this too. This meant so much for me, and like it was like I had my spirit woken up again. And he was like, "I'm not crying, you are." But yeah, I feel that way with Anime North Idol as well. Like, yes, I did retire from the competition circuit, but that is with the full intent of going into non-competitive stages so that I can hopefully make more space and more acceptance for different types of performers, especially those who are physically disabled. Because there is unfortunately still a bit of a stigma around, especially wheelchair users backstage, and I'd like to challenge that. I would like to continue challenging that, but that also means I have to work 3 times, maybe 10 times as hard. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it'll be fine. But yeah, I'm already 12 minutes over. I got stuff to do, including finishing Chisaku's commission before I go on a weekend vacation at a friend's house, so that I can watch Korean Demon Hunters, or K-pop Demon Hunters, and amongst other things. But yeah, thanks for swinging by. I'm just gonna warn y'all right now, probably gonna be sticking to 1 to 2 streams for the next few weeks as I continue to recover from the eating disorder. But hopefully we can build that back up to 3 streams and then 4 streams, and maybe one day we can even do 5 streams. That would be great. I'd love to do 5 streams. 5 streams would be a dream. But I'm gonna try and stay modest for now. So yeah. That's that. Thanks for swinging by. Thanks for having dropped by. And if somebody's watching this from the VOD, thank you for leading me on. Oh, thank you for swinging by too. Good luck with class warfare, thank you. I will do my best. I'm not going down easily. Have a nice you too, Kaz. Have a brave night, y'all.